Hey, it's Kelly here at Don't Run with Scissors, your favorite Jeep driving mom of twins, lawyer who has two crazy rescue dogs, who likes to craft in her spare time. Mostly cross stitch. This week it is all cross stitch. It has been all cross stitch for a while. It just is what it is. I have not pulled out my sewing machine back out. I've been trying to. We'll get into it. Anyways, welcome back. If you're new here and you haven't already, why don't you hit the subscribe button down there? What it does is it sends me a message. It also, if you give me the thumbs up, it sends me a message that says so-and-so subscribed or so-and-so liked your video, and it's just a little boost in my self-esteem. We all could use that. So it's Monday night and I'm way behind schedule. It's almost into Tuesday morning. And that's okay. It's been crazy. So, I started PT this morning. Not too bad. My back it's tender, but I was able we did some heat and some massage therapy, and stuff, as well as some stretching exercises. What they think is I've activated those muscles and they're all like, you can actually feel the lumps in my back, like from the muscles being so rock hard, intense. So we're trying to loosen and stretch that out. When I'm in peak training mode, I actually go for almost weekly, like massage therapy with my sports massage therapist. And it's a lot of, I literally looked one time, I was watching what she was doing and she had her elbow like buried in the muscle of my thigh. Yeah. So her and I have actually talked, and with all of the COVID things, it's been really hard because of social distancing, and that's, it's not a priority apparently to our governor, which I get and I absolutely respect. She's only been back open for a while. So usually if I go, so I haven't been very good at upkeep. So I called her and she's like, yeah, you probably just are really tense. And she was telling me, I was like, yeah, you can actually feel my IT band is like super, super tight. And when your IT band, which runs like the outside of your leg, up in your thigh area, it will pull the muscle or the tendons, it will pull the stuff actually on the side of your kneecap. On the opposite side, oddly enough, usually is where mine gets pulled. So then you start hurting because your knee is like hurting, and you start walking funny and your gait is off, which throws off your hips and your small of your back. So it's all interconnected. And, again, with COVID, I haven't been doing a whole lot of upkeep maintenance, as we joke about calling it, even though I've been biking and trying to stay as active as I can. I'm certainly not training as hard as I could be, and I have in the past. We'll get to there. We'll get back to that level. But right now, my body we need to kind of do some of these, going back to the basics and hitting them hard. So I had PT this morning, was feeling pretty good. Actually put in a bike ride. I'm not able to stay down on my bars as well, and that's okay. It just felt good to have the endorphins kind of going, and my legs kind of spinning and that. So I actually rode for about an hour tonight, which I think it was a little shy of an hour, probably closer to 45 minutes. I'm okay with that. We've been doing some more housework. I actually cut in around the ceiling and around the windows and the little wainscoting kind of beadboard stuff that's in my living room on 2 out of the 3 walls. I have all these shelves now to move. Like now, in order to do the rest of the wall cutting, and I'm going to have to move furniture and stuff, so I didn't want to do that quite yet. But it's coming. So I can actually put the second coat of paint on really about half of the living room. So that's my goal this week. And then to finish priming the hallway, the one wall. I think I need to put a little bit more spackle on the one area and sand it. Not a big deal. I'm not mad. I'm actually happy. My air conditioner in the window leaked water with the rain. It was tilted so that it kind of was like at this angle where I thought it was more like this. And even if it was like this, like flat, the rainwater would still kind of drip in. So we've adjusted it now so that it actually is tilted like this, so the rainwater will go off of it. But it has damaged the floor by the window, so I think I have to replace some subflooring. I don't know how to do that. So I'm secretly hoping that Amy and Larry will set aside a day next weekend to help me. The boy child and I have been working on the water heater. So as of right now, I have lukewarm water. I don't have hot water. Yeah. Hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully. I'm actually really proud of my son. He's actually taken the parts to Menards and went and talked to the people there. Like, hey, how do I get this to work? What fittings do we need? And he's really been doing it. So I'm proud of him. We'll see. I know he's frustrated with it not working and not being able to do it. One step at a time. And that's what I keep telling him. I'm like, look, it's not a big deal. I'm going to run dishes over to my friend's house tomorrow, run them through his dishwasher. And I'll, the kids and I popped over there this morning and showered in the hot water, and he's fine with that. It's not a big deal. I have keys to his place, so even if he's not home, I can go and do that. And I just, if need be, I'll leave him baked goods or dinner or something. Not a big deal. So I've been working on that mostly, like house stuff, which is exciting. Like, I love watching the house sort of come back together and finally getting projects taken care of. It just sucks. I feel like every time I turn around, it's another one. But yeah. As far as haul, we can get haul out of the way really fast. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. I bought the rest of the DMC I need. So now I have a complete set of the regular DMC. I have a lot of the Etoile. And so like that may be the next grouping that I make sure that I have is like the Etoile. I have 940, the glow in the dark, which I think is fantastic. And I plan on using it a couple of places when I work again on my Epic Disney Stitch Along. Or I don't know that it's a Stitch Along anymore. So yeah, so overall been pretty good. Been doing a lot of, what I've realized is that I need to go back to my paper planner. I'm a paper planner kind of girl. That's just the reality of my life. I don't know if that's the ADD in me. I don't know if that's, I don't know. But I am just one of those that needs some place to, like, I need to be able to write it down. And the other weird thing about that, though, ironically, is I like the sheets of paper, like the paper. I have a Happy Planner, and I like them to have the names, the dates already printed on them. I hate writing out the printed dates. I don't know why, but it just bothers me to have to do. But I don't want all of the boxes like all structured like with labels on them, because some days I don't need those labels, and then it bothers me because then I have to put other stuff in there. So I'm just kind of weird like that. So I want boxes to keep them organized with lines in them, but I don't want them titled. But I do want the date, like that it's June 14th kind of thing. So I've gone back to my paper list, and I've been much more productive and feeling a little bit more grounded. So yeah, so that's been helpful. I also had a really good talk with a friend, and about some things that were going on. And sometimes just talking to the right person and them just listening and really validating you is an amazing gift. Yeah. It's a good thing to be loved by some people. So, again, we've had a lot going on. Here's the other exciting news. I pulled the Cricut out. And I used it. Isn't it cute? And I made the boy child, his water bottle, now has a nice French horn on it. And Joann's has nice t-shirts on sale. They still are. They're 4 for $10. I think that, what are they, Gideon t-shirts, which are nice t-shirts. I like them. They're 4 for $10. And I had a 20% off your total purchase price. So I bought 8 t-shirts today. I bought myself 4 because I'm the mom and I can, it's my money. But I bought each of the kids 2 t-shirts. I will probably go back and buy a couple more before the sale is over. I don't remember ever seeing them quite that low. I could be wrong. But both kids could use a couple extra shirts. It's not like they're kids. They're adults. I mean, they're 20. So I grabbed that. I also grabbed some fabric to make just some cute little dresses or t-shirts. Bean, she has a couple shirts that I've made her that she really likes. They look cute on her. Like, I mean, she's adorable anyways. I think my daughter's beautiful, but so I bought her some. I bought some fabric to make her some shirts so that she'll have some new little stuff that's kind of unique. She's big into Pokemon. She loves Pikachu and Eevee, who looks like a little fox. Pikachu is the yellow one, in case you don't know, with the ears and the like lightning bolt tail, and Eevee looks like a little brown fox, and Squirtle looks like a turtle, like a blue turtle. So I found cotton fabric that is pink that has all 3 of those characters on it. So of course I grabbed that and I'm going to make her a shirt out of it, and she's all excited. So that's cool. I like seeing my daughter excited about things like that. So she has been hysterical lately. So our friend whose house that I do the dishes at and stuff, he was over the other day to try and help me do, I forget what. Oh, we're going to change the way the door swings open on the refrigerator so that it's easier to get in and out of. Our old refrigerator, the door was the opposite way. And so now if I put the dog food where it belongs, like the dog food box, you can't get into the refrigerator. So we were going to switch that. And so he came over and he's like, hey, Bean, if you were going to kill now remember, she's a forensic science and chemistry major. It is not like we're just all wackos. He says, if you were going to kill somebody, what chemical would you use? As if this is a normal conversation, right? Bean, without missing a beat, turns to him and goes, well, I wouldn't use cyanide. And I'm like, what? And she goes, it smells like almonds. And I was like, okay, well, I know you don't like almonds, but like, what? And she goes, it would be too easy to detect. You have to, like, you can't do it. And I was like, okay. Like, I don't know if I should be scared that my daughter knows this or if I should be really impressed. So we then had a conversation. The conversation was like, okay, well, if you had to use stuff that you had around the house, what would you use? And she brings up the fact that she's like, in my house right now, I have muscle relaxers, an EpiPen, actually 2 EpiPens, and insulin. Which then took on the whole conversation. I'm like, this is like living in a serial killer show. Like, I don't understand it. It was, so we were debating, like, so that was the debate the other night. Uh-huh. Welcome to my crazy world. I mean, what do you say to that? What do you say? All I can say is, right now, Bina's using her powers for the good of society, but you know. So yeah, so they are getting ready to both kids are getting ready to register for classes. Bean's school offers an ASL degree. She would end up being a certified interpreter, and I keep telling her that, first of all, she's female and she's going into forensic science and chemistry, so that's a pretty male dominated field, so she's got a leg up there. I'm like, you throw ASL as a minor, you like basically can write your ticket into anywhere. She would be invaluable in so many places. And so we were talking about that, and I'm pretty sure she's going into her third year. Now, granted, 1.5 of those years, the last year and a half really has been virtual learning, which she is not a fan of. She wants to be in the chemistry lab and doing things like that. So I think she's got to register for classes, and I think she's going to try and get into ASL, at least the intro class, and see if she wants to do it. And then the boy child, actually, I think he's a jazz history major now. I don't know. And I'm not sure if he's doing business or teaching with it. I don't know what he's really doing. I nod a lot because, yeah, it's just easier. So he piped up and he goes, well, that would probably be really cool for me to do too. And, because I was explaining to her the rationale. And I said, if it's something that even slightly interests you, just to have that as kind of in your back pocket, in your wheelhouse, it would be really cool. And I said, I absolutely will practice with you. I know about this much. I probably could hold a conversation in ASL with a 2-year-old, if that. I know more, and I know coffee and water. Oh, and I know turtle. I know like bizarre things. Like I don't know that I'd have enough to hold a conversation with somebody who really. Actually, I know I don't have enough in my wheelhouse to hold a conversation with anybody who knows ASL really well. But I told her, I said, I will practice with you. I will do what I can because it fascinates me. Like, it is something I want to learn. So fingers crossed. So yeah. So then let's see what else has gone on. I did the cutting into the laws, told you that. Yeah, I have not been monogamously stitching. I've been pulled towards Lady of the Flag. She's a joy to stitch. I got a little off in one section. I think I can fudge it though, because it's like the ripple, like the wave of her dress. I think I can fudge it and I don't have to rip it out. So we're going to just keep our fingers crossed that Kelly can keep doing that because I hate frogging. Yeah, no, we don't want a frog. We really don't want a frog. I got all my DMC, so that's whole. So I worked on 2 pieces this last week. Lady of the Flag is one of them. Some big fat piece of fabric because I like big fabric and I cannot lie. I have been feeling the pull to start a new start, and I'm really trying to resist until I get at least a couple whips finished again. I haven't had a finish in a while, and it kind of makes me sad. I think even if I could pull out the taco sampler, it's only got a couple more lines. I mean, it probably is. Let's see, tomorrow is Taco Tuesday. Maybe if I pull it out tomorrow, I may just work on it and finish it. Because I think there's only like 3 or 4 more words to write on it. So that would be done. That one's fairly close. I don't know. Um, maybe the MLK sampler, if I dedicate some more time to that, I could probably, maybe before that month's end, pull that out. But we'll see. I'm not overly worried. I don't want to start another big project unless there's a reason, like a specific reason, without having at least 1 or 2 pieces done and out in my basket of 2 FFO. So, Lady of the Flag. I love her. She is on gray Ada that I then, it was just a plain solid gray. I over dyed it. I just added more gray dye to it and got it so she's a little bit mottled, and I love it. I think it's a 16 count. I think that's what the pattern says, 16 count or 32 count linen, but I don't stitch on linen. So here's my flag. This is doing it's supposed to be a white conversion, although she seems awfully blue. And I'm not mad about that. It is in the full conversions, or in the Lady of the Flag group on Facebook. And then I used, the red hair is based in part from, what is it, Lord Libidian site, where he does all of his skin tone conversions and hair conversions. So I used that as a launching part for her hair. My son happens to be a redhead. Bean is got a red bit in her hair too, so I love my gingers. Now, in thinking back, part of me wishes I would have changed her roses to yellow roses, but I didn't, and I'm not going to rip them out. So they're going to stay red. Once again, she is on my WIPGO. She was the WIPGO goal. The number was pulled last month. And for the year, my goal on Lady of the Flag was to get her dress done. Knowing what I want to do with that version, it would be phenomenal to get her done this month, even without the beading. I'm not going to worry about that. But I'm not going to hold my breath. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. I really and truly am. Like I said, I'm going to keep working on her while I love stitching on her. And if I feel the need to set her aside and take a break from her, then that's what's going to happen. It's not like I don't have plenty of other options to stitch. I do need to get my butt in gear and pull my fabric for the sale or round robin that I'm doing with the Stitch Life Happy Hour crew. I am just going to stitch. Remember, I bought the 2 cones of the gray, and this one is 646, and I'm using this and 310 for the Modern Folk Embroidery sale. But I'd also bought 647, thinking that they were a little bit farther apart. I was actually going to use the 2 grays. Well, I'm not, because now I'm using 310. Maybe I'll pull the 647 and do the Stitch Life in gray, so it's not so stark as just doing all black. And then I told everybody to just stitch your section the way you want it, like that reflects you. We have one person who crosses her crosses going a different, let's see, I do my first cross going this way. Well, since I'm opposite, I go from my left to my right, bottom to up, and then I do my row, and then I come back bottom right to left. Well, Julie does her crosses opposite, and so she's like, well, I'll make sure I stitch them your way, like the way you have your stitches going on your, and I'm like, I'm not that weirded out by it. Stitch it the way you want to stitch it. If your crosses go this way instead of this way, life is too short to be that stressed out about a friend project. Will I do my best to make sure that my crosses go the way other people's crosses go on their projects? Absolutely. Am I worried about it on my own? No, because you should not have your nose up in my stitches that close when they're hanging on a wall or in a pillow, that you would notice that. Because if you're that kind of person, you're probably not coming to my house. And if you do, you're probably going to be freaked out about the fact that my dogs sit on my couches. So I'm not worried about it. And I told her, don't worry about it. Life's too short to worry about that kind of stuff. Would it be nice if they all went the same way? Absolutely. And when I stitch all of my projects, they go the same way. I'm very careful about that. But I don't want somebody to work on my project to be that anxious about it or that worried that they're going to mess it up. This is a fun thing. Okay, so the other thing that I've worked on, so I've worked on Lady on the Flag, and I really had hoped to work on her today because today is Flag Day, but I ended up working on the hot water heater and I had PT and other things, and honestly, my body just needed a bike. Biking really and truly for me is a happy place. It's a form of self-care. And I really suck at self-care, in case anybody hasn't figured that out yet. But this weekend, on Saturday, Anne Frank would have been 92 had she survived the Holocaust. And so I pulled out my Anne Frank piece, and I don't know what I did with her picture. I stacked I moved around papers, but it is by Gira, and I've showed you guys the pictures before. It's just very weird that I've been really good about keeping track of my pictures and patterns, but I was reorganizing some things. And then my son came out midway through and asked me a bunch of questions, and I don't know. He does that. I don't know why he expects me to know stuff. I don't know it all. I don't know a lot of stuff, but I don't tell him that. Actually, I do. I'm very honest about that kind of stuff, and I have been with my kids since day one. So they know mom's not perfect. They know mom makes mistakes, and they know mom learns stuff. So that's kind of my thing. Anyways, as I digress and kind of ramble, because that's what I do, I pulled out Anne Frank, and I worked on her on Saturday and Sunday. And I got all of this done. Like, I only had the words, if you recall. So I got all of that done. So there's a little bit more down here on the house. There's like the base of the house, and then there's 2 rows of, they look like barbed wire. This is really bothering me that I don't have the picture for you guys. Like I said, I've been, I swear, sometimes I try to get more organized and I just end up worse. It just ends up worse. I put in for a grant today. I put in for it last week. Fingers crossed. It's to our county. And they needed some extra paperwork. So in this process of sorting out that, I was trying to organize stuff, and I feel like some of it got more organized, and some of it is just like Hot Mess Express. Of course, when you have 47,000 whips going, because I seem to be the queen of starting and not finishing. Heaven and earth, because oh, here we go. See? She got put in the wrong spot. Okay. I knew I'd find her. I knew I had her, because I had just seen her. There she is. It is such, I got mine from creativepoppy.com. It's by Gira. I think that's how you say her name. Is that not, I mean, so cute. It is just so pretty. And so, like I said, I've got all of this up here done. I've got the one plain, and her roof is getting closer to done. But then I have the one, let me see, wait, let me think. I have this side done down to here. So I've just, I mean, she's only got a little bit more down. So again, that's where we're at. I feel like she's about as, I have her probably as close to done as the Martin Luther King sampler from Stone Street Stitchwork. Haha, which is right there. That's got its big flower thing here. And I don't think that it has anything else down there. That's Astronaut. We haven't worked much on that. Harriet Tubman I haven't worked on, unfortunately, since I laid her down. That's another one that I'd really like to get done in the next little bit, if I'm prioritizing. I have a couple that I haven't started. But, again, I don't want to start a whole lot until I finish. I'm going to pull the taco set. Here we go. Here's Stone Street. So I have, on this, I have all of this part done. And I have, like, this part done. So I just have to finish this crazy big vase of flowers. And then the bottom. I feel like between these two, I both started these in Makeup May for Mania. That were probably about even as far as how close they are to being done. So we'll see which one. I mean, I'm gonna keep plugging away, and then like I said, I have that. I think tomorrow I might, just for the easy win, I may pull out the taco sampler and just finish that up, because like I said, I think I only have like 3 words, and like, yeah, it doesn't have much left. It really doesn't. I know it doesn't. If I can pull out the taco, like finish that one, and then make some progress on something else, be it Lady of the Flag or Anne Frank or whatever. Friday at 3:30 in the afternoon, my son has a concert, and I'm going to be sitting, and the concert's over an hour. So usually when it's outside too, so I may take one of the, like, I could take the unicorn sampler too. Friday, I'm going to take the unicorn sampler because it's our trans-tastical sale, and it is Pride Month. I'm going to take the unicorn Friday with me to his concert, I think, and work on it. That's another one that I don't think, people seem to be stitching it really fast. I just haven't put the time in to be really stitching on it. So that may be the one I take on Friday, because it's little too. It's kind of contained, and all of the outline is the same color, so I could only take the one skein of floss with me and just do all the outline, which makes sense to me. So I've decided not to tell you exactly what I'm going to do, other than obviously Friday, and then I'm going to keep stitching. I do want to, the only other thing that I want to do is I'm washing the fabric that I bought today for being in my like little dresses and shirts. I would like to get those cut out and cut out the stuff for the project bags. And like I said, I have to pull out my fabric and work on the Stitch Life one. It's supposed to ship to I'm sending to Cat, I think. I think I send a Cat. So each month I will always send a Cat. So I've got to get that going. I think we have till the middle of July. I hope we do. I better double check. That might be, I need to add that to my list. So, on that happy note, though, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to process this and probably head to bed because it's midnight. So, with that said, happy week. Have fun. Stay safe.